Welcome to On the Line Sports Podcast.
Today's date is August 2nd, and NBA free agency has officially begun, and it is wild.
And football season is fucking back.
Yes,
I am
sir.
Nick Holmes, and this is Anthony Graney.
Hello.
And we are your hosts. This is our first ever episode.
Let's hope it goes well.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty
I
of
like
sports talk. Now, with training camp underway, football season underway, the QBs, the stories, they're all starting to develop.
Plenty of them.
Plenty of them.
I think the biggest is Aaron Rodgers is back. He's playing football for the
yeah.
Packers.
And from the sounds of it, he's fully committed for at least this year and the rest of his contract
I
next
have to
year.
admit, I was excited for Mile High Aaron Rodgers. I really thought
yeah.
that was going to happen.
With the history of Elway and making sure he gets those
Right.
veteran quarterbacks, I
Yep.
thought it was going to be an option too.
Oh, I was so ready for it. Or Gruden going after him, too. I was like, dead set one of those two are going to get him.
Hey, apparently Carr and Gruden are just best buds.
Yeah.
They love each other, I guess.
That is true. He is his guy.
We'll see how that does for him.
I think, I thought it was funny, their whole Last Dance promos they were
Yes.
putting on their Instagram stories.
Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
I think Bakhtiari posted a picture of Rodman, too. Like, I think they had all Aaron Jones was
Nice,
someone. Yeah, like they were all in on it.
It's definitely a roster that could make a definite run at the Super Bowl. I
I
mean, they were almost
yeah.
there last year.
Yeah, kicking it on fourth down like that. Ugh.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this pretty much is, like, no doubt about it, all in or nothing for them.
For sure, without
Yeah.
a doubt. It is championship or bust.
Yep. That's the only possible way Rodgers were to stay. I think Devontae Adams is gone. I think Rodgers is most likely
yeah.
gone.
Some people feel that if he does get paid what he deserves, maybe he'll stay, but
Maybe.
I don't
yeah.
know. It seems like Devontae Adams wants to compete as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean,
Yeah.
it's from the looks of it, they're all on board, but I mean, we'll see mid-season they get a couple bad losses.
Yeah,
Things
see how
might get a little
Yeah,
ugly.
see what adversity does to that team.
Yeah, exactly.
Rodgers already made sure to void the 1 year off his contract, so he has this season and next year left on it. So if he wants to walk away after this year, he can.
Yep, I think that's most likely what's going to happen. But and then from there, I think
Who
Mile High
knows?
Rodgers could still be in the play.
Especially if someone like Brady is still 40 years old,
Yep.
still playing. You know, Rodgers is
Yep.
going to want to stay competing just with him.
100%.
The other quarterbacks that want to stay competing but might not be able to, Carson Wentz. Got his dream spot. Got Frank Reich back. And also ran into injuries again. Just fucked up his foot a little bit.
It's honestly going to be hard to watch if they go and get Nick Foles and Nick Foles takes
yeah.
another
Yep.
team from Wentz.
Like, with Wentz's injury, it's just seems to be some type of foot fracture or something. He's getting a surgery to remove a bone from his foot now. Originally, he was thinking about just going through rehab, try to play week 1, but apparently the coaches thought elsewise.
Yeah.
And this time return table could be anywhere from 5 to 12 weeks.
I don't get that jump. How do they get?
I
How do they
don't-
get that window?
Yeah,
5 to 12.
Yeah, so there's something up to that foot.
Yeah, that's no good.
But man, with the whole rumors out of nowhere, everyone thinking, oh, obviously the obvious comedic trait is Foles.
Foles, yeah.
And then they start asking him after practice, and what does he say? He tells them straight up, well, Frank Reich is pretty much my favorite coach ever, and he's open for it.
Yeah.
But yet again, Foles doesn't really have a say in it. He's
Yeah.
just kind of playing third fiddle. But I mean, he's got to get traded out of Chicago, though, right?
Yeah. So and if
Dalton, Fields, and Foles, you don't need those many quality guys.
No, yeah, one of those, not one of those. Foles or Dalton's going to be going somewhere. Someone's going to have a quarterback issue, and that's
Yeah.
But I mean, from what Frank Reich said, Jacob Eason, he's the
the new driver of the Colts
yeah.
offense for now.
It's his team.
Jake Eason, if you're not familiar with him, because I'm not very familiar with him, I looked up some history.
Yeah.
The last game he played of football, American football, was in college, 2019, Las Vegas Bowl. He beat Boise State playing for Washington. They won 38-7, a blowout. Eason put up 218 passing yards, I believe, 210 passing yards and 1 touchdown. But we also got to keep in mind this Colts signed Brett Hundley just a day ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's obviously a veteran that could compete for that week 1 spot if needed.
Yeah, they need some kind of competition. I was
Competition
really
never hurts.
excited for them. I was really excited for Foles to get a new
Mhm.
start. He was bad in Philly. I don't know. I had hopes for
Then
Foles.
Bears
Wentz.
kind of went down. Both of them. They both
Yeah.
seem like they're going to have good starts after leaving Philly, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And speaking of Philly, their number 1 pick,
Yep.
first round pick, he's out now. I think he should
The
still be
Heisman
fine.
winner, correct?
Yeah, Heisman winner.
Devontae Smith out 2 to 3 weeks, I believe it was. Should be good for the season.
Yeah, I still think.
But hey, what's new about Philly receivers getting hurt? You
I know, yeah. They miss on so many, and I think they finally get their lock. I just hope it's just a bruise,
Yeah, there's a little
get right back in it.
bang up. Dak Prescott, another quarterback, running into issues during this training camp already. Coming off of that gruesome ankle injury and missed
It
most
was
of the
against
season.
the Browns, wasn't it?
I'm not sure who it was against.
It might have been it was either
remember.
the Browns or the week after the. No, I think it was the week after the Browns because I remember he torched the Browns last year, but they ended up winning. But
Yeah.
I think
He started off really good. He still led the
Yeah.
team in passing yards and everything, even though he missed 3/4 of the season. I mean, is that partially because of Dalton's fault? I don't know. I'm not too high on McCarthy myself. So,
I mean, no, I don't think Zeke's got a lot to prove too. He had a pretty bad year, but I think Dallas stays healthy. That defense was horrid last year. Like that was.
Oh no, it was no excuse. Like, I'm a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
I know about terrible defense. I've been dealing with the worst defense in the NFL the last 3 years. And the Cowboys secondary should said, no, we'll hold your beer for you and we'll beat you at being bad.
Oh, that defense.
And what do the Bengals do? Sign an ex-Cowboys cornerback from that team. Hey, he should be good at tackling. But anywho, Dak Prescott, he is now a sore shoulder, a little bit of a shoulder strain. He feels confident it won't hold him back from reaching week 1 and stuff. Mike McCarthy's already shut him down from all throwing and practice. He's still running around on the field, going through walkthroughs and stuff, just nothing with his arms, not messing with the shoulder, no need to risk it, which is smart. And plus, they're one of the few teams that have an extra preseason game this year because they're actually in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
So why not give him an extra week of rest?
Speaking of quarterbacks running around, you hear about Deshaun Watson playing scout team safety?
Really? No, I did not hear about this.
Yeah,
okay.
he's 4th on the depth chart right now, and they had him running safety for the scout team.
I mean, that's what you got to do.
So he's another one. I don't know what they're going to get.
That's just a whole bunch of legal issues right there.
Yeah, that is
Who knows? And if they actually still want something value of what Watson can be and what he probably should be, then I don't know if anyone's going to be willing to give him that because of those legal issues.
Yeah,
there's no, availability is the best attribute in NFL, so.
Availability is the best ability.
Yep.
How about that? There's a quote of the episode. There you go. But I don't know what's up with him. It's terrible. I think the conspiracies that this was all staged by the Texans organization to give him the stage are crap. I think he just messed up a lot. Tom Brady's been looking good. I saw a video of him.
Yeah, he's still leading that team. Got everyone back. Still Tampa Brady Bay down there in Florida.
Ugh.
But hey, they got some more competition with Miami and Jacksonville. They're looking to take Florida back.
Very much. I think, but they are returning, I believe, all 11 offensive starters from last year.
Yeah, I think it was the first time in NFL history got a whole starting side back from a championship roster.
That's nuts.
Crazy. Still got the coach, everything. That chemistry should still be there.
Yeah.
Scary thing is there's still AB just kind of lingering.
Yeah.
Like, what if he gets back to Steelers AB?
Right.
With Godwin and Mike Evans being the backups.
He had no preseason. He joined the middle of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was still able to produce like he did. Like,
yeah, he's a good receiver. He can still run some routes, some basic ones.
Right. Now he's got a full year, off season.
In that system.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. It's scary.
And I believe Arians and AB worked together a little bit. No, Arians might have been right before AB when he worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just before. He just missed him. But I mean, Arians,
Arians
he was
a great offensive coach.
Yeah, he was very skeptical about AB. I remember when the rumors were coming around, but once they actually got him, and I think he saw what he was able to do. I think Arians
also something about AB and Tom Brady. Some long lost love, some buddies, something going on there. There's some type of connection, and
they got a hell of a bro.
I guess somehow Tom's keeping Antonio straight, keeping him on the right path.
He needed
he
someone.
went wild there for a second.
Yeah, I think that you look back on that Steelers team, you had Ben, Bell, Brown, like the Killer Bees. I don't think there was anyone.
Boswell.
Yeah. There was no one like a Tom Brady on that roster to keep them in check. They were just kind of all doing their own thing. But I think Tom, what he's done in Tampa Bay is crazy.
And obviously the Big Ben and AB relationship went south real quick at some point.
So bad.
And that became clear to the public.
Yeah, that was a mess. I mean, I hear all the time he's just Tom. They had a group chat, and Tom will just text all the receivers like, "Hey, we're meeting at this high school," and they'll just 6-7 hour sessions.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's
you gotta build that rapport. You gotta prove that leadership, especially at that position at quarterback. That's just the rule. Automatic captain, pretty much.
Yep. Quarterback. I mean, Baker losing weight.
True.
Big Ben
Couple
losing
quarterbacks
weight.
shedding weight. Big in the AFC as well.
Yeah.
Big Ben, Baker, Joe Burrow, all definitely. Well, Joe Burrow, I think he said he's in the same weight, but he's definitely shedded fat and gained muscle.
There you go.
He looks a lot more leaner, a lot more cut. Big Ben looking a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
Baker definitely lost weight.
That year, the Freddie Kitchens year, I mean, just from the very beginning, that first preseason game, I remember watching it, just thinking like Baker looked big, like
he had a little bit of chub.
Yeah,
he had some comfort. he had a fun off season.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I mean, then you go this past season, look at him early on. He was a lot better, slimmer, better shape. Coolest thing I've heard about Joe Burrow was he got 100% attendance at OTAs.
Oh,
he
yes.
got and he's still hurt. He's tore an ACL bad, and he is still not 100%.
That Burrow he's the bona fide leader of that Bengals team. He took over that entire franchise as soon as he stepped in the front door. And I'm saying that as a Bengals fan. I watched Andy Dalton, I watched Carson Palmer. None of them have anything on Joe Burrow. Now, obviously, Andy Dalton had a shaky career, whatever. I still love him. He gave his all for us. He was a great leader, great person in the locker room. Yeah. But Joe Burrow has all those qualities, even better of leadership quality, and has all the talent on the field, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's just an all-right stud.
Then, that pick, their draft pick, controversial. You go bit lineman, you take the receiver. That receiver room is crazy now.
There is a very, very strong possibility if everyone does what they can. This could be the best receiving core in the NFL.
One of them's up there.
Now, obviously, some teams are like, hold our beer, and they went out and traded for people like Julio fucking Jones, the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Ooh, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones.
Cleveland's going to have an healthy OBJ.
OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Donovan Peoples-Jones. You got Higgins still.
Anthony Schwartz.
Yes, Schwartz. Higgins very underrated.
Very.
I'd say both Higgins, two of the most underrated receivers in the NFL. Hollywood Higgins, no one talks about him at all because he just seems like a base role player for the Browns. But in reality, from what I've seen, Baker and stuff, they just have good rapport.
Well,
they've had good rapport forever.
They were in the same draft, I believe. Actually, I think Higgins might have been a year before him. But when Baker got to the team, they were on that second team together. And then when Baker took over, Higgins was his guy. Like, he still had juice out there.
You could see that in that Browns Hard Knocks. It's like Baker was just so comfortable getting to Higgins.
And going back to that, that playoff game against the Chiefs, Higgins did have the big fumble in the end zone, but that's tough. They said he watched it. He's been watching it like all off season. That play in that first half, though, Higgins and Baker were like the only spark the Browns had. 'Cause I think they went in the halftime with 3 or 6 points. But yeah, Higgins, I'm really looking forward to watching him play this year. T. Higgins,
my boy, coining the nickname TD Higgins now because he's about to put up 12 touchdowns, maybe not, but I see him putting in 1,000 yards for sure. Hopefully, putting in at least 5 to 8 touchdowns. Hopefully, he can match his touchdowns from last year again. Obviously, he's got some competition: Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. With Jamar Chase, all of them have upside. Crazy upside. Jamar Chase, young rookie, you have the rapport of Joe Burrow already. Clearly from reports training camp, that chemistry never gone. It's right back. They're having fun again. They're hanging out. They don't live too far away from each other. They're good buds. But T. Higgins, man, that dude, I just see A.J. Green in him. And he just preaches about how A.J. Green is his favorite player. And A.J. Green took him under his wing.
That's awesome.
Wearing Chad's number, it's just writings on the wall in my eyes for T. Higgins, baby.
Oh, he has 85?
Yeah, he's got 85. Yeah, Chad Johnson. You know, it wasn't really Chad Johnson's choice. He still blessed him with it. You know, when he was drafted, he's like, you earned it. And Chad Johnson praised his route running ability and everything. Like me, some T.D. Higgins, baby. Look out for the Bengals receiving core.
I mean, the AFC West, that's always a good conference, but I mean, I can confidently say on the AFC side of things, the North is going to be the most competitive, talent-filled division.
The AFC North standing is going to be as muddy as their games.
Yes.
It is going to be thick. It's almost like when you come to predicting records and who's going to win divisions, I'd say it's almost more impressive if someone can predict who's going to finish last in the AFC North.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone's going to automatically label the Bengals. But they've only improved.
Yeah.
Steelers,
I think they're
they're kind of the same. They improved the defense, but their offense might have got weaker. They let linemen go. Is that line going to hold up like it always has?
Especially with an aging quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why Ben's losing weight.
Yeah.
He's going to have to run.
And maybe they're all losing weight because of one quarterback in that division that does run a lot. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
But he's slowed down a little bit right now with COVID.
I don't see any. I can't confidently say any team in the AFC North is going to sweep anyone. Like I think it's just going to be splits across the board.
Yeah. There's going to be so many splits. There's got to be.
Yeah. I don't think any team is that much better.
A thing I also want to warn people, AFC North fans, Ravens fans, Browns fans, Steelers fans, expect all these records to be a little bit lower and a little bit shittier than any of us expect. Because like they're competing against each other twice a year, and then we're also playing the AFC West.
Yeah.
Like Mahomes, Herbert, Carr, and then Broncos. Broncos always find a way to go 8-8.
Yeah.
Raiders always compete for 500, no matter how bad they are. Like recent years, like they could easily, any team in the AFC North could easily lose a game any given Sunday. Any of those teams in that division. Not to mention the two Super Bowl contenders of Chargers and Chiefs.
I mean,
crazy season.
Just looking at it, I'm already giving each team in the North 3 losses, one from each team. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be splits all around.
Very possible, dude. Broncos always have a solid defense, so
I
always
mean,
gotta be careful.
Browns were 11-5 last year. You're starting. I mean, I'm already predicting 3 losses just from the division. Like
Browns could easily be 10-6.
Well, you get that extra game. I think 11 and I would confidently say 11-6 for Cleveland.
Very possible. That could easily just be 9-7. That could easily be 9-7 at the top of the AFC North. Yeah. At the same time. Keep an eye on the AFC North, football fans. It's going to be a fucking wild one.
And then the AFC East, I still think Buffalo's going to run the table in that.
Patriots should ideally be more competitive.
Dolphins.
Getting people back.
Dolphins are going to be really good.
Dolphins are sneaky. Although their best defensive player, one could argue, wants out. Xavier Howard. Requested a trade a couple days ago. But he's still practicing. Yeah. Still showing up all the team things coming. Yeah, he's sticking with the team, but let it known he wants out at the same time. It's interesting.
I was hearing
not the worst for him. I mean, it's smart. You know, he proved like Melvin Ingram.
He did more than enough
when he sat out of the Chargers camp. Yeah, he sat out, but he showed up to every single practice and camp and coached. And the coaches, and they expressed this on Hard Knocks. They were just like, "Well, we can't just he's coaching for us. Like we can't just let that go. We gotta sign him now." And they did. Now he's with the Steelers in the AFC North. Let's see how that goes.
I've been hearing Chandler Jones from the Cardinals. He wants out as well. I've been hearing Jones for Howard because I think the Cardinals
are looking.
They want to go all in.
I mean, they got the talent to go all in.
Yeah,
they have 3 potential Hall of Fame wide receiver. Speaking of another good receiving core, a little aged, but still a good resume. Yeah, AJ Green, Larry Fitz still there, I believe. Yeah, didn't retire
one more
yet.
Year.
The ageless man doesn't give a shit. And then everyone knows, obviously, D. Hopkins, the monster himself.
Mayfield's finest, Andy Isabella.
True. Yes. Yeah. Local speedster.
The kid is fast.
True deep threat. Yeah, that's just terrific depth. And like Fitzgerald in that locker room, I'm sure D Hop and AJ Green have been able to learn at least one little thing from them, even though they're both past, they're in the thick of their primes and near the end of their primes. They already know plenty. I'm sure they can still learn a thing or two from Larry Fitz. And I'm sure Andy Isabella is soaking up everything he fucking can. Because that is quite the locker room to be in. That is very lucky as a young player. speaking of young players, Kyler Murray, hell of a receiving core to work with.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of exciting stuff in the desert of Arizona.
That offense is going to be fun to watch. Cliff Kingsbury,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I think he was a douche when he was in college,
Yeah.
he can run an offense.
Yeah, it's working. His vertical offense is here. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to change. If he brought it last year, he picked up all these guys. He's obviously going for it again this year.
Yep.
So we'll see.
I'm glad the 5-wide has made its way to the NFL. Like, that is the base offense.
Yeah.
Starting to be.
As an ex-lineman and a man who loves the running game, and obviously I'm an AFC North fan too, so I'm used to the running game a good bit. I don't like to see the running game go away, but, passing game's the future, and it's just the more they look into it, the more they plan around it. Like Andy Reid, the Chiefs offense the last couple years.
Every play is an RPO. There is I don't think he has one just like normal run play.
No,
every run
there's
play
no way.
always has the option to just pull it and throw it.
Every play that dude has written down probably has like 5 options in it.
Yeah.
Like, he just decides, maybe this is a little too crazy, and cuts out a couple of options before game day to make it a little more simple. Like, he probably just gave Pat Mahomes a completely different playbook than Alex Smith ever even saw when they originally drafted him. It was like, hey, just study this all year. We'll break it out next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's...
And they definitely, if that was the case, they did, and they torched NFL. Yeah. They're still torching. They're looking to do it again this year.
It's going to be a very... I don't think there's anyone... I mean, you know, Kansas City... Last year, I don't want to say it was easy, but, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was...
with a little bit of... The Saints...
That was one of the few years where, like, the 2 front runners at the beginning offseason were actually the ones in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in the NFL very often.
I can't think of one team that it's like their roster is so much better than anyone else. I think now teams have caught up to the Chiefs as far as talent goes on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of teams that size up well against the Chiefs now, for sure.
Yeah.
Browns, one of them. I would say there's, like, I say Browns, Chiefs are about the same level of talent. It's just, who has more talent in the more important spot and who's going to show up on game day.
Who shows up when it comes time, Andy Reid's going to be a big year for him, too. Like, they've now had, Chiefs had their run 2 years ago. They had a run last year. It's now your 3rd year of running this thing. Teams have caught up, and he's going to have to switch things up and find some more tricks, even if that's even possible.
I feel like it is. Honestly, I'll tip the cap to Andy Reid. He's blown my mind at the offense he's been drawing up and coaching lately. I think he can do it, and it scares me. I don't want to see Chiefs to be good, but they're probably going to be good, so prepare for more Mahomes, people.
And now, I mean, not only is it the Chiefs are going to face competition to get out of the AFC, to get out of the AFC West, they're going to have to work their ass off.
Play Herbert twice a year, the Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. Yeah. That AFC West has always been very competitive. Always good rivalries there.
Yeah, I think the Chargers, I expect them to take a big jump. Like, this is big year for them. And
also sharing the stadium with the Rams, it's like another contender. It's like you don't want to be known as the other guys sharing the stadium. Like when one team's the big tenders getting all the fans, getting all the tickets, like you're like, fuck you. Like this is my stadium. This ain't just
Take your
yours.
stadium back.
Yeah. So I'm sure that's helping a little bit.
And then the Rams, I completely forgot. I'm glad you brought them up. Stafford,
and McVay.
That team.
That combo might be dangerous. McVay's been preaching them. I mean, Stafford, I feel, has been underrated hugely the last 3-4 seasons. He really improved his game once Calvin Johnson left.
Yeah.
No knocks against Calvin Johnson. It just seemed like it might have been a little bit of an issue where Stafford felt too comfortable with this amazing athlete, Calvin Johnson, where he just anytime he was,
you can get away with bad throws throwing at him.
Yeah. You don't know what to do, just throw it up to Calvin.
Yeah.
That's the joke. And once Calvin left, he started hitting everyone, and no one really talked about him other than like Detroit fans. But he's here. He's doing good.
No, yeah, I think his game took like another step up with Calvin leaving because it's not the Calvin show, it's the Stafford show, and
he had to make the weapons better around him.
He did.
It wasn't the weapons making him, and he did. Yeah, hell of an arm. Him and Herbert might have the 2 strongest arms in the NFL. Josh Allen too. Josh Allen too.
He's got a cannon.
Herbert's arm is sneaky, really strong.
Yes.
Just wait. This season, he might prove he's in the competition for strongest arm in the NFL. Just wait for it, people.
I'm pretty sure Allen had the highest going off of Madden. I found it interesting. Allen had 99 throw power.
Yes.
I believe Mahomes was second with 97, and I think Stafford and Herbert are around the 95.
Really?
Ish, yeah.
Okay. Mahomes does have a hell of an arm too.
Yeah, but like that offense, man.
Dude, yeah. Mahomes is confident in that offense too. Comfortable. It's crazy. It's amazing what you can do in one off season of sitting out and really studying.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he didn't study anything. He's just.
I think that
he probably did. He had to.
I like the point you brought up. Reed had a whole different playbook for Mahomes. He had to. His first year, and he didn't want to break it out till he was.
Exactly. Like that offense just flipped the script completely once Mahomes took over.
Yeah.
It was a new scheme.
And there was no lull time. It was week one. They came out firing,
doing crazy RPOs and stuff.
You remember that?
What's going on?
You remember that Monday night game they had against the Rams? It was like 56-52.
Yes.
That game was nuts.
That was even with that high score of a game, that game was a lot of that
was
narrative was defense too.
Yeah,
because it wasn't that, because people are saying, oh, there's no defense. It wasn't that the defense was bad. The offense was playing. Both offenses were playing so perfect. The only way the defense could stop them, it was like NBA. The only way you're gonna stop them is if you block the shot. The only way those defenses stopped them is they picked them off or got fumbles, and that's what they did.
I think each team had a defensive touchdown. Yeah,
they got defensive touchdowns and they got turnovers when they needed it the most. Yeah, because both sides of the ball knew there was no stopping the offense that night. Yeah, it was just an offensive night.
That was Jared Goff for the LA Rams.
Yes, it was. Who's now with Detroit.
I
gave up on him just like that.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna do out there.
Yeah, I think Anthony Lynn's over there now, offensive coordinator.
Yes,
head coach of Chargers. Yeah.
And then NFC North.
NFC North, man.
And let's see. I mean, Green Bay. Now that they have Packers, now that Green Bay has Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think they're back to being the favorites.
Yeah. Shays Lewis even said I believe he said he felt he spoke for everyone that everyone's a little uneasy about the Rodgers situation. Like nobody in Green Bay knew if he was coming back or not. Not even his teammates. I don't think Rodgers did either.
No, I don't think he did. Yeah.
At one point, it sounded like he was actually contemplating retirement. I mean, according to some people like AJ Hawk, he feels like it was just maybe like a 5-minute thought process, and he was like, "Oh wait, never mind." But who knows? AJ Hawk, ex-Bengal.
Yeah.
My boy.
Ex-Buckeye.
Yep, true. Ohio.
He's Ohio.
Let's go. Built Ohio strong. Speaking of building Ohio strong, the Ohio training camps, Browns training camp. There was one little injury.
Yeah.
Possible cramp rumored for linebacker Anthony Walker Jr. He limped off the field apparently, threw his helmet in frustration. Those are reports coming out. No actual injury reports yet that I've seen or heard of. There's a rumor that it was hopefully just a cramp.
Yeah. That position specifically,
hell of a battle.
It's going to be a crazy battle. I think, I going back 2 years when we got Mack Wilson and Taki in the draft. That first year, I thought Mack Wilson was going to really be a star. And Taki, then year 2 comes around, the COVID year. Wilson didn't look too hot last year. He struggled a bit, but Taki took off.
Yeah.
Had a pick 6 against the Eagles. Another interception against the Steelers in a playoff game.
I thought Mack Wilson was going to do good too. But Taki, he was a talking point. No,
I heard all training camp, Mack Wilson has been like on Anthony Walker Jr.'s hip.
Yeah.
Like just doing whatever he does.
Okay.
It's the battle is crazy. You got him.
Nice. Learning something from the veteran.
Yeah. Taki, Wilson, Anthony Walker Jr., JOK. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Yes.
Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. Second round pick. I still think that's steal of the draft. Yeah. Some report came out his heart had issues or
like
something.
An irregular heartbeat or something.
Yeah. He
it scared teams.
His first interview after the draft, he just shut those down completely. He said he had no idea where they came from, and
hey, maybe he was a little tactical smoke screening. Who knows?
Yeah, I like
it. You never know with the 4D
draft. Chess move.
Yeah, 4D chess.
Send out a report. This guy's got a heart problem. Take him in the second round.
Yeah. Why not? If it's what gets you the guy, gets you the guy. Who knows?
But that position battle is going to be great to watch. Unfortunately, I think one of those guys are probably going to be traded just due to the fact that there's
Depth.
so much talent that,
and potential.
Right.
Yeah.
One of those.
You got to get something for at least one of those guys' potential instead of sitting him on the bench all season.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
I can see
Jacob Phillips from LSU. He was on that team with Joey Burrow. He had a good year last year. Rookie. I think he's a 5th-round pick. He's going to compete in that.
Mm-hmm.
You have the other guys I mentioned. It's going to be a good competition to watch. Like I said, unfortunately, I think one of those guys are going to be traded. I don't think they're going to cut them. I think they're going to trade one of those guys or something.
Get something for him.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, I wouldn't mind seeing Mac Wilson in the Bengals jersey if I could get it to happen.
I think it
wouldn't be bad. We got a linebacker right now that's looking upside, but Mac Wilson would not be bad for the depth chart at all. But
I think they would do whatever they could to keep him out of the division. Though,
probably.
if they send him,
yeah. Be a smarter decision. Get him the hell out of the AFC North.
Yeah. Don't want that to come back.
More in the Browns training camp. Their center, long center for a little bit now, J.C. Treader. Fellow Hog, like myself, J.C. Treader, hell of a player. He's feeling a little bit under the weather today, supposedly. He missed practice, did not practice. Now, is that under the weather, just under the weather?
Yeah.
Or it could turn into COVID. Who knows at this day of age?
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that.
Player being out for a cold, that
could be anything nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's any more COVID tests in the AFC North. I know, Bengals are, I believe Zach Taylor said about a week ago, they're about 90% fully vaccinated. And in the next couple weeks, there's guys getting their second dose, so they should be pretty much fully vaccinated by the end of training camp. Most NFL teams are.
There's been a few of the Vikings. They just recently fired a coach because he made a big deal about not getting vaccinated.
I think it was.
And especially with the new rule change, is big fine. It's a loss if you
don't have the players.
If there's an outbreak.
Yeah, there won't be any more rescheduling.
Yeah, because of unvaccinated players.
So if you have to forfeit, you just have to forfeit.
Yeah, so I can see teams are really getting on that.
Yeah. Keep them healthy. NFL training camp is going to be wild. There's still more to go with it. They're still going the rest of this week. I'm sure there'll be much more information coming out here and there.
But most importantly, out of all of this is the first week until the Super Bowl where we will have football every week.
Single week.
Oh, that's awesome.
And throw a little credit at Field Yates. Doing a little bit of calendar math for me this morning. I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, oh, thank you. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. The most beautiful thing I ever read. Football every single week through the Super Bowl. Beautiful. Couldn't say it any better than Field Yates did himself on that tweet.
This should be a holiday.
It should be.
Should be a holiday.
Thursday is going to feel like a holiday.
Yeah.
Even though it's meaningless.
Thursday.
Damn near. But, hey, it's the Great Canton Hall of Fame game. Ohioans gotta love that shit.
Oh yeah.
In fact, this is football country, football state. When we got Ohio State, we're big football. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Rejoice, Ohioans, rejoice. So Ohio teams. And speaking highly of quarterbacks, Boomer Esiason recently visited the Bengals stadium, just talking to them and everything, and getting interviewed just last week, and he has been praising Joe Burrow. And I mean, he is admitting he's better than himself. Boomer ever was.
Wow.
And his words, some of the words he said was, I know one thing, he's a better player than I ever was. Already, I can see it. He's much more accurate passer than I was. He's also fearless. He's not afraid to throw the ball down the field, which in today's game is valuable and is going to help them be successful. I think he's in the hunt for comeback player of the year. Think about the way he played as a rookie. Think about how he handled the offense. He's making checks at the line of scrimmage. He's calling his own number on the quarterback draw. Those are things I wasn't capable of doing. I just faked it. He's the real deal. You can tell. He didn't wear a wristband as a rookie. I love that kid. Impressive. That's the Bengal great, Boomer.
Yeah.
Only one you can argue better than him is maybe Ken Anderson as the Bengals franchise. That's Boomer fucking Esiason. Saying everything he can, praising that man.
Joey, hey.
I agree with him in everything he ever said.
Joey B is going to be the real deal.
He is. And I watched every post-game press conference and practice press conference I could of Joe Burrow last year. because I was just so skeptical from having Andy Dalton as my quarterback for so long. I just never fully believed in him, and there's reasons why. And then Joe Burrow, I was so skeptical, kept watching, and every single time, I mean, everyone saw it. The line was abysmal. The O-line was horrible. The team in general was pretty rough. And never once, no matter how hard the reporters picked and prod and fished for something negative, he never once said anything bad about a single lineman, praised everyone who needed to be praised, and he's just full-blown leader. And he has that whole fucking locker room and franchise behind him now. This kid's special. Cincinnati Joe Burrow.
He's got all of Southern Ohio. He was Logan County.
Yeah. Right in father coached in Athens. High school football. Yeah. Local.
Yeah.
Young kid. Shit. He had the balls to walk away from Ohio State.
Yeah.
And ended up going to LSU and winning a natty.
Arguably leading one of the best teams ever to play college football. Yeah. And I'm with that trend.
Arguably the greatest quarterback season ever in college football.
Oh, I don't think that's arguably. I think that was the best season a college football quarterback has ever had.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
That team was ridiculous.
Crazy team. Justin Jefferson on that squad. Now in the Vikings, he's proven he's all that talent he showed in college.
Edwards-Helaire with the Chiefs. Jamar Chase, obviously. Randy Moss's kid. I can't think of his first name.
Thaddeus Moss.
Okay.
Also on the Bengals now. Yeah, scooped him up. He was went undrafted to the Washington Redskins. They decided to cut him at the end of the last season or the off season, and Bengals said, "Why not?
Yeah.
Why not scoop him up, bring him back with his old leader, his old quarterback? I think it's a brilliant
idea. Getting the gang back together.
Yeah, if he can get if he has any morsel of his father's greatness in his blood, Randy frickin' Moss, like Thaddeus Moss, I'm sure can be more than serviceable tight end, receiving tight end. And with C.J. Uzomah still and Drew Sample, we should be good on solid tight ends of the Bengals. So, yeah, good things.
You have any kind of record prediction in your mind right now?
Ooh, for that, I mean, I've looked at the games a little bit. I'm hopeful for 9.
Now 17 games though.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for 9 wins in 17 games, so but I think probably more realistically, it'll probably be like 7 or 8 wins. But I don't see us being any lower than like 6. I don't think we're gonna be that bad.
Yeah,
we're gonna we competed too much, even when how bad we were last year in the games we did lose, just because Joe Burrow just kept us in the game, kept feeding those good receivers we got, and that offense was rolling on the passing side of things.
Were you guys? It was the Bengals that beat the Steelers when they were still undefeated last year.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I know this. I know the Bengals beat them. They did. That was the game. Not Jesse.
Yeah,
Bates.
we embarrassed them.
Who's the other safety? Remember he knocked out Juju. He made all those comments about him doing how stupid he was doing TikToks. And then Von Bell, Von Bell cracks him over the middle.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 2 weeks in a row. Juju kept doing TikTok videos of him dancing on the other team's logo, like at their home stadium and stuff. And so Von Bell, as the veteran he was, trying to juice up that defense of that locker room, trying to get him more aggressive, started trash talking and say, "You ain't gonna be doing that dancing on our field, boy." And what did he do?
Knocks him out,
cleans his clock. Makes him cough up the ball, incomplete pass, or fumble. It might have been a fumble. It might have been a fumble, yeah. It was a great play.
That was
that
so
team,
good.
Yeah, that team, the Bengals were on something else that day. They were juiced up for that game. And that's just AFC North football.
Yeah. That is AFC North football. Is any given Sunday.
It's whatever team's more juiced up for that game.
The Bengals took it was that second game, Bengals-Browns. They took the Browns down
to
shootout
to the wire, final seconds.
Yeah, Baker, a good game, but 22 passes in a row to end the game, 5 touchdowns. Yeah. That's kind of tough, but that game was Bengals gave it everything.
Hopefully with a couple tackle signings like Riley Reed and some other depth guys and a couple draft picks we drafted in. O-line run game should be a little bit better, especially with good old Frank Pollock back in-house.
Nice.
Training up those O-lines. Get him, coach, fix up them hogs. Moving on over to the NBA side of the pond.
So today at 6 o'clock, NBA free agency started, And I got to give a shout out to these teams, executives, and reps. So the new tampering rule
yes,
was
cracking down on it.
no negotiations were to start until 6 p.m. So all these teams that got their deals in at 6:01, 6:02, I got to give them props for being incredible negotiators to get it done within a minute, because there's no way possible a team was negotiating a deal before 6 o'clock.
No way.
They have just true professionals that can get the deal done.
Had all these options written out,
Yeah.
Just started letting them fly, and
no more. No, they cracked down on tampering.
They had to have predicted which deals they were going to decline,
Right.
And had those backups ready too.
Yeah.
Just round of applause.
Yeah, they did great. No tampering at all here.
But anywho, all it probably really means is we didn't know jack shit until 6 o'clock, the regular people. And that's the main point. And then once 6 o'clock hit, it was a thunderclap and it downpoured on us.
Yep. I think the team that probably made the biggest splash and probably the biggest improvement has got to be the Chicago Bulls. Going out and getting Lonzo Ball.
Part of a 3-way trade potentially. I think the details are still being worked out, but the contract was 4 years, $85 million. It's supposed to be a sign and trade to the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, Bulls are getting Lonzo.
And you look back to last season, they made all those deals at the deadline as well, getting Vucevic and I can't think of that other player they picked up, but making 2 big trades kind of out of nowhere last year, and then this year you're coming in getting Lonzo. Not too long ago, they signed Caruso
Alex
from the Lakers.
Caruso, 4-year, $37 million deal. Lakers fans gotta be heartbroken seeing him go.
Yeah.
But hey, for the Bulls, that helps.
Oh,
Helps a lot.
Yeah, they're gonna be.
You got Levine, Caruso, Lonzo, Vucevic.
Mm-hmm.
Some good.
They're going to be able to
right
compete
there.
next year. I could definitely see them sneaking in 7, 8 seed and making some. Well,
but hey, I mean, same things we're kind of talking about the Knicks last year. It was just the only person they had was Randall.
Yeah.
It's just Randall. And what did they do? Shock the nation. Randall shocked the nation himself. And speaking of which, probably one of the teams that also made some noise today, but mainly because they were just re-signing everyone. The Knicks brought back Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, and Derrick Rose, all to 3-year deals. Nerlens was a $32 million extension, Alec Burks $30 million, and Derrick Rose was a $43 million extension. So solid paychecks, nothing crazy.
do you think
Should do good, but they did bring in one new face.
Yeah.
A little bit of a shooter, a little bit of man of some foreign lingo, Evan Fournier.
Yeah.
He's playing in the Olympics right now, isn't he?
Yeah, they beat America.
Yeah, beat America. Yeah.
Beat them in pool play.
Mm-hmm. 4-year, $78 million deal right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit more big boy bucks. A little bit more.
They're gonna.
That should be an improvement.
Yeah.
Especially if they keep Randall and all them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think the Pelicans are just throwing in the towel?
I
mean,
don't know.
They still have Zion, but
They have Zion and Brandon Ingram still.
yeah.
And at the end of last year, they started using Zion as more of like a point forward.
Yeah.
And seemed like that could be possibly a better way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a new coach now.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I remember the rumors. I mean, the rumors came out last year, end of last year. Zion's family and his team wanted him out because there's, they didn't think that the Pelicans were doing a good enough job of getting talent around him, and now they're letting Lonzo. Well, I guess they traded Lonzo. They didn't necessarily let him walk, but I don't know. I still think Zion to New York is still a very big possibility. I think.
I don't think the Pelicans have made any splashes yet. Other than working out a sign-in deal or sign-in trade with Lonzo.
Yeah.
And with that, Lonzo reunited with Caruso a little bit.
Yeah, they were boys back in L.A.
Yeah.
Called him a walking bucket.
Yeah. And now they just have to have fun on their own team.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine. Should be fun to watch the Bulls.
It was also pretty nice to see. I mean, after probably, I'd say the last 3 to 4 years of every major player leaving, going places in free agency for the most part. I mean, rather than that Westbrook trade, everyone's just kind of staying in put. Superstar-wise.
There has not been a great super team conjugated yet.
Mm-hmm.
And seems like people kind of like their spots and they want to keep competing.
Yeah.
Speaking of people liking their spots and wanting to competing, Suns, Chris Paul, big deal, re-signed. He declined his option. just so he can get some more money.
Yeah. I think his player option was $34 million for this upcoming year.
Yes.
Shut that down to get $120 over the next.
Yeah, it was $120, 4-year deal. Quite possibly maybe ending his career with Phoenix. Who knows, though, because he did get tossed around like a Tuesday night hooker a couple seasons ago. But, hey, I'm sure he's happy that from what it looks, he's actually get to stay in one spot for a little bit now. And they're competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's another reason why he stayed. He believes in him. Believes they can run it back and give it another shot.
I think Suns, their biggest needs in the offseason was obviously getting Chris Paul, getting him all figured out.
Get that leader back.
But more importantly, big man depth.
A little bit of energy off that bench.
When DeAndre Ayton would go off the bench, especially in the finals, Giannis had his way with
too
him.
Big, too physical.
He still had his way with Ayton, but it was a little less,
Yeah.
But then, you pick up JaVale McGee.
Who better?
Yeah.
1-year deal, $5 million. JaVale McGee.
I love that pick.
Plenty of energy. Great locker room guy. He's really just rebounded his whole career. I mean, sure, he will never have the giant contract. He won't have the recognition any of these greats have. But like that dude, he went from the clown of the NBA to just all right. Like I feel like most people just generally respect him now and like him. Like they just see he's fought through everything. Yeah. Ignored all the haters and stuff and just kept grinding, and now he just keeps finding his way on different teams. And he's contributing the best ways he can. And he's just enjoying life. Got to play in the U.S. Olympic team now this year. Yeah. Yeah. Fun times.
Oh, I really like that signing for Phoenix. I was probably their outside of Chris Paul doing whatever he wanted. That was their biggest need was depth at the big man.
And like also, I hope it doesn't happen to JaVale because being tossed around like a Tuesday night hooker. Worst case scenario on that 1-year deal, trade deadline comes around. JaVale McGee brings that good energy, puts up a good resume like he did with the Lakers. You get something out of him, trade him off. Yeah. And a team like the Nuggets, they wanted some more big man depth. They scooped him up. So I'm sure somebody in need of big man depth will want to look at JaVale McGee at some point this upcoming season. Will the Suns get rid of him? Who knows? Hopefully not. I like to see JaVale stay up there and get a championship.
Get another one.
CP3. True. He does have a ship with Lakers.
I really like what Detroit was doing. Tough year. Lost Blake Griffin. Lost Drummond the year before. They get their number 1 pick, and I think they're putting good, solid role players around him.
Nice splash.
Yep. That way they're not going to ask him to do too much in year 1.
Oh, yeah. No, these guys can definitely hold their own and help spread and most importantly, space the floor for them. Yeah. And those guys, of course, we're speaking of is Kelly Olynyk, 3-year, $37 million deal to the Pistons. Corey Joseph on a 2-year, $10 million deal. And then Trey Lyles, 2-year, $5 million deal. Yeah. A little bit of shooting, a little bit of spacing, and some veteranship. All those guys have been in the league for a little bit now. A handful of years. They know what's going on. And that'll be good for that team. I mean, sure, Pistons aren't gonna do anything crazy probably, but
no, but I think it's a great.
You gotta if you reach the bottom, you gotta start with resetting the culture and the tone for the team. Then the talent will follow. You know what I mean?
When you look through the history of the NBA, you look at the golden eras. The Jordans. I think of the Kobe's era, early LeBron. You know who always was competing at the top right with those guys was Detroit basketball. So I think when Detroit is good, the NBA is good.
True. Yeah. True.
So I'm excited.
You always know the Lakers, Celtics are gonna be up there, but when you get those other guys, like the Bulls, finally getting back into it. Competing again. Detroit can get back competing. Oh yeah.
New York's back.
Ooh, New York is back, and they were quiet for a while there. Yeah.
Now that's gonna be very, very interesting.
All these teams are starting to turn up the heat a little bit.
Yep.
Speaking of turning up the heat,
there you go.
Pat Riley getting himself. Honestly, this man reminds me a lot of Mario Chalmers.
A lot better.
But at the same time, I could just see him doing just the same amount of great things Mario Chalmers did for that organization at his age and everything. Kyle frickin' Lowry. Yep. Find the long-time Raptor, the all-time great, the Raptor legend, finally gone. I'm sure Raptors fans are a little sad. But hey, hey, he got yourself a ship. There's nothing to be mad at. I'm sure there's no bad blood. You know, he did it all for him. Even had some chokes in the playoffs and had to come back and rebound from that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
People thought he wasn't it.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't the real deal. I mean, they ran into a buzzsaw every year with LeBron being in Cleveland like that.
And then
they fired Dwayne
Casey,
coach of the year.
Yeah,
coach of the year,
anointed coach of the year a week after his firing.
Oh.
Voted in a coach. Sucks. But hey, is he still Pistons? Right? Still under contract?
I believe so. Yeah.
Hey. Let's get Dwayne Casey. Let's get it again. We'll get another coach of the year. I like Dwayne Casey.
I liked him too. But yeah, he couldn't beat LeBron.
I mean, not too many people have been able to beat LeBron.
Right. That's
nothing to be too sad about.
But I mean, the Heat, they pretty. I would say disappointing past season.
Yeah, it was definitely a letdown.
Like it was a Cinderella run.
That bubble Cinderella run. Yeah.
But I like what they're doing though. Re-gearing up.
Lowry should bring. I mean, he should fit in that whole just mindset and personality of that entire team and locker room.
He's like Jimmy Butler as a point guard.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think he took the most. He's like over the past few seasons, he has like the lead in charges taken. Like that dude.
Lowry's physical. He hustles. He loves playing defense. He'll give it 100% all the time. He can shoot the ball. Very well shooter. And yeah, that's beautiful. And if that's another all-star, another leader to help just engrave that nitty-gritty defensive mindset to that locker room with Jimmy Butler, then he doesn't have to worry about that as much. He can just focus a little more on his own play,
Yeah.
And then hopefully the same with Bam. And then that whole can just resonate through the locker room. Who knows? Pat Riley might be back into the finals sooner than later.
They have the biggest contract for an undrafted player, correct?
Yes, they do.
Duncan Robinson.
Polished off today. 5-year, $90 million deal to stay with the Heat. Undrafted free agent from, I mean, he was more than just undrafted free agent. What college did he play for?
Well, he started out D3. I forget the name of the school, but played a few seasons there.
Like Williams or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started off there, played one season at Michigan, and then undrafted, was signed to the Heat's G League, and worked up from there.
Grinding his way up.
Yeah, love watching that
story.
Yeah.
I mean, like what else? What else would you want to see as just a fan sitting at home than see just some regular dude who didn't get the shot work his way to a massive contract?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. With I don't know if the Heat are necessarily in the conversation yet with Bucks and Nets.
True, those are huge.
But they're
huge
like
Goliaths.
right at the door. If not, they are.
They might be the David Bucks. Still looking strong. Have most of their guys still under contract. Speaking of most of their guys still under contract, just re-signed another player, Bobby Portis. Little 2-year deal, $9 million. Nice depth.
Fan favorite.
Yeah, fan favorite. Get off the bench. That's good. You mean you got to keep your chemistry with teams. I mean, no matter what happens, you got to keep the guys, you keep the chemistry, but more importantly, you got to keep that championship chemistry.
So now the Lakers, they're in a tough spot. No, I don't want to say necessarily tough. You still got LeBron, Westbrook now.
They made a bulk of their roster were unrestricted free agents.
Yep.
So even though the bulk of their salary is going to LeBron and AD, they planned it out so they could pick up some more role guys.
Right.
And from the sounds of it, they're doing just that, and they're definitely trying to tackle a little bit of their shooting issues.
Yeah. With
a little signing of Wayne Ellington. Now, I haven't seen any details of the years or the amounts of the money or whatever, but they signed today Ariza, Howard, and Wayne Ellington, all to, I think, 1-year deals.
Yeah.
I know Ariza for sure is a 1-year deal. I mean, Ariza, you know what you're getting out of Ariza. Nice 3-and-D, good leader. Grind, come off the bench.
He's been doing it forever. He started off as a Laker, and now it's looking like he's going to finish one. I like D12 coming back to the Lakers, though, I think. Especially after last season, watching AD go down. And Andre Drummond, I don't know what happened to him. He just fell off a cliff in the playoffs.
He just kind of fell off a cliff in general.
Yeah.
In the NBA, and I going and as a Cavs fan, local, and I was also a Drummond fan. I love Drummond.
Oh yeah. So
I was so stoked that we had him, but then it was just he started ball handling and running the pick and roll, and he wasn't. Yeah, I don't think it's just Drummond being bad. I think it's also the the sport's weird right now for people like Drummond.
Oh yeah.
You can't it's hard to just be a glass cleaning rebounder.
Yeah, and you got to shoot the ball and
Like what was the last good glass cleaning rebounder? Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Greek fucking freak. That's because he's also running up and down the court as fast as everyone else. He's dunking on everyone else. So like he does everything Drummond can do, but twice as more.
Right. The traditional.
So if you're not twice as more as Drummond, then you're kind of just awkward.
The traditional big man really doesn't have any spot in a lineup.
If you're a glass cleaner and defensive guy, you have to be athletic enough to guard the perimeter too.
Yeah.
Because if you can't guard the perimeter and go lateral, you're useless.
Yeah.
Sadly.
No, yeah. I mean that was.
Rudy Gobert, he's very athletic, very quick.
Yeah. He can he's what he does on defense is.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can
he's
make
very
up
long.
for
He
it.
makes up so much space. Same with like Jared Allen.
Right.
Someone who also got a new deal.
There are a few. Yeah, that's how you can make up for not being able to shoot or whatnot, is to be able to protect the rim.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Drummond, I don't know, man. He just kind of seemed to lose everything.
Who knows? I mean, who knows who he'll end up with? I'm sure he'll end up on another team. He's a good defensive rebounding big man's valuable in the playoffs, deep runs, especially if they can get in the shape and playing solid. But he just wasn't it for the Lakers, wasn't it for the Cavs, and who knows.
But you did bring up Jared Allen.
Jared Allen for sure. 5-year extension with the Cavs. $100 million straight up. A little pricey, but hey, I mean, he's young.
Mm-hmm.
What is he? 21, 22, I believe. I need to fact check that. Just in the brink of his prime. His career is he started to show the league what he had a little bit in Brooklyn.
Yep.
People are starting to see it, like the Cavs, and they said, okay, well, we'll join in on this 3-way trade. We'll pick up Jared Allen. And then once he got to the Cavs and he wasn't, behind a big 3, the big 2 at the time in Brooklyn, he just blossomed.
Yeah.
And Sexton and Garland were using him like crazy, using those long arms in the paint. He's an monster. He's good player.
I really
solid. I like it. I like him resigning.
Yeah, I love what the Cavaliers are doing, and I just can't help but think, imagine this Cavs roster where they would be right now if they didn't have Kevin Love's contract in a way. That contract's out of here. We're talking next free agency. They'd have a max contract slot, but I really like what they're doing. Finally, since we drafted Andrew Wiggins, we had never drafted a player taller than 6'5". And then we get Evan Mobley.
Shoot, yeah. 7-footer, potentially shoot all across the board.
I watched a little bit of him at USC. Now in college games a little different.
Yeah.
He brought the ball up a lot for USC. He ran a lot of their offense as the point forward.
Mm-hmm.
He could shoot, defense. I love that pick. A lot of people are saying Jalen Green was the move there. I think the Cavs needed Evan Mobley.
Now the question is, do you think the Cavs will be using him as more of a small forward or more of a rebounding point forward?
I'm not sure how they're gonna. Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Because there's still love there.
Yeah.
In a spot, so the Cavs gonna find a way to buy out Love's contract or something. I don't know. I love Love, great dude.
Mm-hmm.
But his performance isn't matching his numbers.
Yeah.
Never paying him anymore, unfortunately. And I think he knows it too. I mean, the way he was in the Olympics, and he had to withdraw himself from the Olympics because he knew he wasn't playing as good as he can. He didn't want to just keep embarrassing himself. I feel for him. It's hopefully, man, if you can return the shape, return the form, then
I'd love to see it. Yeah,
that'd be beautiful.
But no, I don't think they're gonna let Mobley, do any kind of point forward, any kind of that. I mean, you still have 2 very bright young guards in Sexton and Garland.
Rumored still a little bit around for Sexton being moved possibly, but hey, I want him to stay.
I do too.
I think he's got. I think out of all the young talent the Cavs had, well, I don't know about Evan Mobley. I haven't seen him play yet, but just watching him play the last couple years, I feel like of the young talent Cavs have, the only thing close to championship grit is probably Jared Allen and Colin Sexton.
Yep.
I think Garland has a lot of potential. I mean, he can prove me wrong this season. He has all the potential in the world. Same with Sexton still, but it just seems like Sexton's a little more nitty gritty on the defense, a little more energy, and I feel like that goes a lot farther in championship rosters.
I wasn't necessarily a fan of the pick, but I think Okoro brings similar skills in that category as well.
I really want to see Okoro develop a 3-ball and then see him transition to more of like a 3-and-D 2-guard.
Yeah,
because he's athletic, he can guard the perimeter very well, and just no matter what, he's just undersized to guard NBA caliber small forward, the all-star small forwards. Like, sure, if you're good at defense, you can do it. Like Andrew Iguodala shut down LeBron, slowed him down just enough to help Golden State win championship. But yeah, I mean, I could see 6'5" Okoro locking up most shooting guards a little bit easier than like Leonard and KD and LeBron and Giannis if he's at the 3. And you also got to worry about other big bully guys like Simmons if he's going to be matched up on him, and Zion. Like, I'd just rather see Okoro matched up more on guards. But Cavs are loaded of guards with also trading for Ricky Rubio. Sending Taurean Prince for him.
I don't want to say playoffs yet.
No, I don't see playoffs.
I don't even think a play-in, or maybe a play-in. That would be like the ceiling for this season. In my opinion, I think if we could somehow get to the even if we lose by 50 points in the play, if we can get to the play-in game and make a little bit of noise, that would be like that's what my ceiling is for the Cavs.
This is also kind of a fun thing about the Cavs team though coming in the season is like. A lot of these other teams already have full-blown stars and stuff, and you see what talent they get, and you're like, okay, based on this, they should be better. The Cavs, so far, they just re-signed. We don't know if they'll get any newer guys. They traded for Rubio. Okay, Rubio ain't anything crazy. Very good player. Good for the locker room, all that. But it's like, it's across the board of the Cavs roster is this guy going to be that much better? Is this guy going to be that much better? Is this guy going to be that much better? It's just everyone with upside. Pretty much. That's all you're looking at the Cavs is like who of these like all these young guys are actually going to develop into these good players, which hopefully they all can, but time will tell.
We'll see. I'm still thinking I would say the Cavs would need to make a serious playoff playoff expectations will be this following NBA season, not the one upcoming, the one after that. That's got to be our now we got to prove it.
Most definitely.
I do like their offseason though. I think they made very good moves. Kobe Altman definitely starting to get the seats starting to get warm, for sure.
And with the Mobley pick, like you said, it was the first time we drafted someone that tall in forever.
Yeah.
And that's very important because we got trees now, as my buddy, my insider would call them. And length and size is just so important in NBA now.
Yeah.
It is too important. So, hey, if we get that knocked out, it's all a plus for us.
You brought his name up earlier. We were talking about tough matchups. Do you see the offer the Sixers wanted for Ben Simmons from the Warriors?
I didn't see the exact details of what they wanted from it, but I heard it was absurd.
Andrew Wiggins and 4 first-round picks.
What?
For Ben,
Maybe Andrew Wiggins and a first-rounder.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
that's...
Wow. I know the reports came out when the Cavs were trying out, seeing what maybe they could get for Ben Simmons. Just why not? Sixers basically, from what I heard, Sixers wanted every good young talent the Cavs had. So that probably included like Garland, Okoro, and like a first-rounder or 2. Yeah. For Ben Simmons. They probably also wanted our draft pick this year.
Yeah, they wanted Mobley. Yeah,
they probably wanted to replace him with Mobley. So, Philly.
They are in a tough spot.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, if they
they don't even have the cap space to sign anyone really.
No,
they just gotta hope that man can shoot,
figure something out,
not be afraid to go to the free throw line.
Yeah,
again, that was crazy.
People are saying his issue is like mental. He just can't. He's got some kind of mental block. I've heard he's even tried shooting right-handed.
Is he? I've heard a lot of people are like mentioned that maybe you should try switching. 'Cause
Yeah.
a couple people like LeBron. He's ambidextrous. He's left-handed, right? Shoots with his right.
No, I think LeBron's. Actually, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's right-handed. But
I heard he was left-handed, but was taught how to shoot a basketball with his right hand as a kid. But that's just what I don't know how true that. I think it's true, but who knows?
But it's kind of sad. I don't know what they got. That's 2 picks now. Going back to Markelle Fultz, 2 first-round picks they spent on guys who did not know how to. 2 number 1 overall picks. I'm pretty sure Simmons was number 1.
Was he?
I know Fultz was.
Yes.
They took Fultz over Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell.
Ooh, trust the process, right?
Yeah, that's the killer. I mean, like the Ben Simmons pick, it had its ups and downs, but I think the one that's really gonna kill Philly is that Markelle Fultz pick.
Yeah, that was also just wild. Like, there's never ever heard of an issue like that going in the NBA.
No, he doesn't know how to shoot.
Yeah, like he just lost all trust in his shoulders and like couldn't bring just ruined his whole form.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like I've been seeing that a little bit of like Cam Newton in the NFL, but that's a different sport. Now it's due to injuries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Philly's in a tough spot, and they're gonna. In the worst part, I'm gonna say the worst part. They're gonna go out there and dominate the regular season like they do.
I mean, they're long, they're athletic, they're physical. Yeah. That's gonna generate wins.
You know, Ben Simmons, he struggles a lot, but like his peak is just fast breaks. His decision making, passing. That's when Ben Simmons is an all-star. You know, you come to the playoffs where, you know, maybe the regular season it's close. You know, whatever the regular season is for half-court offenses, it's like doubled come to the postseason because everything's slowed down. And when you're not out there running and run and gun, Simmons really doesn't have that much to bring to the table in a half-court offense.
No, not at all. Especially since when he's not running and gunning, it's so much easier to foul him.
Yeah.
At the rim, and like everyone saw in the playoffs last year, this past season, he was choking from the free throw line and got scared, got in his own head, was too scared to even try to finish at the rim because he didn't want to risk going to the line and failing. And I just think of people like Giannis. He was struggling at the line, and he even through the crowd counting down his seconds, trying to get fouls called on him. I'll tip the cap. He just focused up and
it almost
lights
seemed
out in the finals.
Yeah, as the moment got bigger for him, he shot free throws better.
Yeah,
I think that last game 7, I think he missed 2. He was like 17 of 19.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
and I didn't want him to win or anything because I'm big on free throws, and I'm like, if you can't shoot free throws, you're just lazy. Yeah. And then Giannis was just shut me up right there. I'm like, all right.
The moment got bigger. He actually got better at shooting free throws.
He did. He hit them more and more it count.
Man, what a run he had. What a playoffs for him.
I mean, just playoffs in general for NBA. That was great. I mean, everyone was bitching and complaining about all the injuries, which, that sucks. But, I mean, it made for great playoff basketball again.
Oh, amazing.
Dude, it was like teams were actually forced to go to their bench again. Guys are becoming household heroes that were never even talked about. It was great. I loved it. It was a good playoffs. A lot of fun to bet on, too.
Oh.
Speaking of some bets. You got any bets you like coming up near?
I do. And I got 2 Olympics. Straight up. I'm taking USA minus 11.5 against Spain.
Favorites.
The Spaniards. I'm taking the under in that game as well. They have the unders. They got that line set at 180.5. I'm going to go under that.
189?
180.
180. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I mean that should be the most competitive game so far of this Olympics. Yeah. Right? I mean we did beat them in the last exhibition game before the Olympics started, and the U.S. men seems to be rolling now, seem to be in form, but.
Right, I'm just going off. They haven't played a complete game, like a great game, a good game to their standards at least.
Yeah.
And I think going against Spain, probably the second best competition they'll face, second best overall.
Definitely.
Spain, France, and even Slovenia.
Yeah, because Luka's just Michael Jordaning it. says,
16-0.
I'm getting you boys a medal.
16-0 in international play. He is
Luka.
But Spain's always been
The most unathletic looking white boy I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
Yeah.
It's been a joy.
No, this game, it's actually going to be later, in about 3 hours. This game's going to start.
Yes.
12:40 a.m.
Real prime
Eastern
time.
Standard Time. But as far as I can remember, Spain with the Gasols has always been like number 2 to America, and I guess France when they had Tony Parker and was Ginobili. No, Ginobili wasn't France. I know Boris Diaw.
Boris Diaw, yeah.
Yeah, he's the other Frenchman.
Yeah, I feel like the French and Spanish teams, they pretty good of like fundamentals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of their NBA players are really good fundamental players.
Mm-hmm.
So like Pau Gasol, like the Gasols and all them, and yeah. So I could see that really coming into play.
Yeah.
I mean, fundamentals definitely come into play in an international stage and everything.
I thought that was.
And you also just like, it's weird because NBA players are so used to playing for these giant contracts and championships in the NBA. When they go on the international stage, it just almost feels like extra work to most. Like I can't speak for them, but it's like kind of seems like it's like least like most players is least of their priority.
Yeah.
But then you see all these international teams coming in, and what are they playing for? They're playing for their country.
Yeah.
And that's what they're excited for. That's what Luka was talking about. Like he said, winning a medal for Slovenia would mean more to him than any championship in the NBA ever will.
Yeah.
And I could fully believe that.
I mean, you look over the Olympic rosters, there's a few NBA players sprinkled in there, but like 90% of the people that are playing against Team USA will never ever, I wouldn't say 90, like 98% of the players that will play in these Olympics will never play in an NBA championship.
Yeah.
So the Olympics is their fucking what they've been working for. Whereas like, you look at Chris Middleton, the point guard, Drew Holiday.
Yes.
Like they just won an NBA championship, and they're like, yeah, I guess I'll play in the Olympics too. Like these dudes in these other countries, like the Olympics, you got one shot every 4 years to beat America, and that's all you got.
Yeah, it's like you go from just playing the regular qualifiers and stuff, and you're just playing some international basketball against other people who speak different tongues, some of them maybe, and then all of a sudden they just start grinding like it's Game 7.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm sure that could throw off Team USA, and I'm sure, and it seems like they've gotten used to it. Like it seems like stuff's a little more intense, and like they're up to it. But yeah, I could see that.
It was almost.
I could definitely see it going low.
Yeah,
that should be a tight game.
It was almost beneficial. Team USA got smacked around those first 2 games.
A little wake up call.
Yeah, a piece of humble pie because.
Yeah.
One, the referees are not going to give them the calls they think they're going to get.
No, they will not get soft baby NBA calls in the international stage. I think they've proven that so far.
Yeah, which supposedly too, the NBA came out saying that those foul baits, the pump fake and jump into the guy, no longer a foul. Like it's gonna be. Oh. They're changing that up this year coming up.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think too many fans would be against that, and too many fans. I think that'd be fine.
Players are gonna bitch, but.
Probably a little bit, but because they're used to it and used to abusing it. But it wasn't that far long ago when they started abusing it. Like I remember Chris Paul was one of the first people to really, really master that technique of baiting them and drawing contact from the perimeter.
My favorite.
He wasn't a great 3-point shooter. He was like, I can get to the free throw line from this spot without even taking a step.
I think my favorite Chris Paul move is his get a rebound or get an outlet pass, dribble in front of the other team's big man, and just stop. Just let them run through him.
Running through his ass.
I mean, that's obviously one of those ones that are not going to be called.
It's almost he practically boxes him out while dribbling.
Yeah, and then he gets the call.
It's just Chris Paul, crafty motherfucker, been around the league too much, just one of the greatest point guards of all time, without a doubt.
Like, trust
true
me,
point guard.
The NBA says they're going to start cracking down on this. He will find the next loophole. He will find the next move that'll get him easy fouls.
Just keep going to the free throw line like he always does. And he proved he's got that mid-range game. And I love he's got that mid-range game. Yes. Love the mid-range.
He brought it back from the grave. The mid-range game is back in the NBA.
I think that's about covered what we can talk about today. We got plenty more we could talk about in the sporting world, but we could save that for another episode.
Yeah, I think next episode we'll be back. be closer to the end of the Olympics, so a little Olympic recap.
Do a nice Olympic recap.
A nice
Medal
MLB
breakdown. MLB postseason
talk.
race.
Yeah. Heating
Stuff
up.
heating up finally in baseball.
We'll have a football game to talk about.
Hall of Fame game
Yeah.
Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
In Canton,
Ohio,
Yes,
baby. Let's go. Football land.
It is back.
Football is back. And hopefully we'll be back in the next episode.
It should be Friday, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, if we can do
We
that,
could
yeah.
pull some strings.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when we can record the next one.
Yeah.
But until then, ladies and gentlemen, in the next time.